I started my work in storytelling a number of years ago by volunteering for a storytelling program at a local children's hospital. Once a month, we would go into the hospital and tell stories at the bedsides of the children. Well, after about 2 years of this, I honestly began to wonder whether it was worth my time to continue to do this volunteer work. For a couple of reasons. One, it was taking time away from my own family. I had young children at the time. But also I was wondering whether it was really worthwhile for the kids in the hospital. Frankly, a lot of times they were on so much medication that they were drowsy when they listened to stories, or a brother or sister was in the room distracting them from the story, or more often than not, they were much more interested in that big black screen that hung on the wall across from their beds. But then one night, my storytelling partner and I walked into the room of a little girl who was about 9 years old, and we could tell right away that she was in pain. She was holding her abdomen and audibly moaning. So frankly, we didn't know whether she was really up for a story or not. But then we noticed that her mother wasn't right by her side comforting her daughter in her moment of pain. Instead, her mother was flitting about in the room, shuffling papers, organizing things in the room, taking care of business, which was a clue to us that this was this girl's normal, to be in pain. So we thought we'd give it a try. Well, at the end of her bed, at her tray, there was a little pipe cleaner flower and a pipe cleaner butterfly. So we picked those objects up and started to play with them just to get a sense of what her reaction would be. She seemed okay with that. So we thought we'd start with something very simple, the story of the 3 pigs. By the time the second pig was building that house of sticks, her moaning absolutely stopped. We carried on with the story. The wolf was big and bad, and the worse he got, the bigger her eyes got as she watched. At one point, the corner of her mouth turned up just a little bit. Then, of course, the wolf came down the chimney. We put the lid on the pot in the chimney. The story ended. We picked up the pipe cleaner butterfly and the flower. We played with them for a little bit longer. And 15 seconds after that story ended, her moaning started again. I walked out of the room that night and I knew the power of storytelling. So my goal when I am performing stories is to take audiences from their world into another world, whether it's for 2 minutes or for 2 hours. And when I'm working with clients, my goal is to help them take their clients into the world of their organization through the power of stories.